putting inside your body. And like I said, my heart goes out for everybody involved. But what Eubank did say, which went viral as you saw, and everybody used it, Eubank did say that if this fight did go ahead, and he was more talking about the weight, if the fight did go ahead, he had his lawyers ready and prepared to sue everybody involved for the attempted murder of his son.
Wow.
It did go ahead. He had his lawyers ready and prepared to sue everybody involved for the attempted murder of his son.
Wow. Super duper 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 leaked. So we just heard there from our darky Don Spenny coming through hot right now. No doubt about it. Big shout out off the rip to my doggy. Which doggy is it? My doggy Jack Harmer. Yeah? Jack Hamer. Jack Hamer coming through. Jack Harlow. Yeah? Big shout out to my doggy Jack Harlow coming through. I need some Jack Harlow girls bad right now, 100%. Your man know I be down bad, no doubt about it. Anyway, big shout out to my doggy Jack Harlow coming through, boosting the coin up. And we just heard there an exclusive leak. Ain't no one heard this one. Stop lying. I'm sick of the cappers out there. There's way too many cappers these days. Oh, YB, we heard this. No, you didn't hear this one. Not this one. It's a new one, leaked one, 100%. Don Spenny come out and leaked the fact exclusively to the YB. Chris Eubank Sr. was going to stick it all over Eddie Hearn. Eddie Cover Up Hearn. Yeah? Calla Snifferland. Calla Snifferland. Eddie, I've got a moody motor to sell you, Hearn. And whoever else involved. I guess probably DAZN too. Yeah, the lawyers was at the ready. They was ready to go. Yeah, and I've heard, Chris Eubank Sr. had some dastardly lawyers on the case as well. Yeah, the hungry ones, the nasty ones, the vicious ones. No, listen, I'll tell you who weren't on the case. It weren't Dillian White's goofy baby boss. What's that film called? Baby Boss, yeah, 100%. Big Baby, something like that, 100%. Dillian White's lawyer, big baby boss looking ass. Yeah, that film called Baby Boss, that's what your man Dillian White's lawyer looked like. And to be quite frank, that's how he acted as well. Like a big goofy having ass cartoon character. Yeah, well, in fact, what value did Dillian White's lawyer actually add in the end? You got your man washed, and then add, God knows, cost him how much in fees, and didn't add nothing to the bottom line. Oops. Anyway, let's get back to the point here. You heard there from the leak, Don Spenny. Chris Eubank Sr. was fixing to sue. I'm pissed this fight didn't happen, truth be known. I know I keep saying it. I'm pissed it didn't happen. Because, now look at it. Apparently, I've heard from people close to the situation, it's never going to happen now. It's never going to happen now because Eubank apparently ain't going to want to fight at 157 again. I've also heard, apparently, the rehydration clause was ridiculous. Apparently, Eubank had to be 160 the next day as well. So when Eddie Hearn said, oh, it's £10, he was capping. And in fact, Eddie Hearn didn't say £10. He said, oh, yeah, about £10. Cap. Yeah, about £10 actually meant £3 from what I've heard. Eubank had to weigh in 157 and then 10 hours before the fight weigh in 160. That's what I heard. Which, really, is actually a good thing. Why? Well, it adds value to the fight. It makes it more competitive. I've told you before, I ain't trying to watch a 147-pound go in there of a 160-pounder. Who wants to watch that? I don't. So the punitive weight thing, actually, if it does happen, if it happens and the same conditions are allowed, I'm all there for it. I'd hate for Nigel Benn. Listen, Nigel Benn's too gassed up. Nigel Benn's so gassed. Nigel Benn was saying, oh yeah, Chris Eubank Sr.'s right. The fight should never happen. And I've told Conor now, if the fight does happen, it has to be at 160. Normally. Normal 160, no rehydration clause, no 157-pound clause. Yeah, my son, Conor was going to set about Eubank and it wasn't going to end well. He was going to Gerald McLennan him. That's what he said. Nigel Benn said, Conor will Gerald McLennan Chris Eubank Jr. if it happens at 157. And that's the problem with these fighters. These fighters, yeah, their egos are so big. They're delusional. Like, who here thinks that can happen? Not being funny, yeah? Listen. Nigel, listen. Yeah? Nigel, listen. 1 second. Just 1 second. Your son is going to Gerald McLennan, Chris Eubank Jr. Your son couldn't Gerald McLennan Adrian Granados, who's at your weight, who's a 147 pounder. And I'm not knocking, I think Granados is a cool guy. Yeah, but the point is, your son most likely was juiced off his barnet. Yeah, juiced out of his bonds against Adrian Granados. In fact, I'm pretty sure he didn't even put him down. And if he did, either way, he didn't finish him. Yeah? So you can't even finish a dinner against kind of B-level, mid-level 147 pounders. And you want us to believe a top 25 percentile 160 pounder who's dropped a few. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, the weight obviously is detrimental. Chris Eubank Jr. already admitted, yeah, I'm going to be 60%. And I probably agree, but either way, yeah, you can't even finish a dinner against your own weight class. Never mind a dude who's already got, whatever we say about Chris Eubank Jr., yeah, he has got a cast iron chin. You can't even finish your dinner against random 147 pound ons. How about you going to go up there and Gerald McLennan, Chris Eubank Jr. at 160? To be quite frank, the odds were Conor Benn was going to get knocked out. No joke. No joke. Go look at the odds. The odds were, no joke, the odds were the most likely outcome for the fight wasn't Chris Eubank Jr. on points. The most likely outcome of the fight was Chris Eubank Jr. by knockout. I kid you not. In fact, it was like by a big margin as well. It was something like there was what was it? Yeah, it was something like there was a 30% chance of, or 40% chance of Chris Eubank Jr. getting the knockout. And then it was 20% chance of him winning by points. Literally. It was a glaring favourite for Eubank Jr. to knock Conor Benn out. That's just what the odds said. That's what people, no, listen, that's not what people was waffling about. That's not what people was giving it all this about. That's what people put their money up for. Yeah? But Conor going to go in there and Gerald McLennan him. That's not what the bookie said. The bookie said your boy was going to get himself smoked. And I don't know. I think the fight was going to go close. I don't actually think either man was going to score a knockout. But to be fair, what do we know about Conor Benn? Conor Benn hasn't had the best whiskers. And I salute Conor Benn. To be fair to him, he is a fighter. He's not a pussy like AJ. Yeah, Conor Benn's happy to go down and get back up and keep fighting. Well, he hasn't proved that yet at the top level, but so far, against bums, he's happy to go down and get back up. Will Conor Benn jack it when he gets put down against top level guy? I don't know, but so far, I have to give him credit. Conor Benn hasn't shown he's a wuss. So unless you put him out cold, I don't think Conor Benn will choke in that sense. I don't think Conor Benn's going to pull an AJ. Keep jumping on the floor like he did against Mr. Blobby. I think Conor Benn, to be fair, in fact, when he got put down by Paynaud, he came back fighting. Similar to Tyson Fury. Every time Tyson Fury's been put down, he come back fighting. That's what Conor Benn showed, albeit at a lower level. So to sit there, do you know what I'm saying? I don't think either one was going to get a stoppage, but the way Nigel Benn carrying on, honestly, the way Nigel Benn's carrying on, he might be the one ending up suing everyone for attempted M. Because if he lets his son, Conor, go in there at 160, look what happened to Kell Brook. And again, I'm not saying Kell Brook was fighting Golovkin. Eubank Jr. ain't no Golovkin, but it's similar in as much as I'd say Kell Brook at the time of fighting Golovkin was a lot more polished and was a lot more certified. He was already a world champion against a top guy at the time, undefeated Sean Porter, who really was, at the time, people got short memories here, no joke. Back in 2015, when Kell Brook pushed back Sean Porter's wig, at the time, Sean Porter, in fact, was it 2015? No. 2014. Either way, whatever year it was, whatever year Kell Brook washed Sean Porter, at the time, the narrative was Sean Porter was a Mike Tyson. He was a 147-pound Mike Tyson. Yeah? That's what it, I'm just telling you what it was. That was the narrative. Sean Porter's an American 147-pound Mike Tyson. And Kell Brook went in there and gave him the strong one from the back. Yeah? He gave him the strong and long one. 100%. Team Lighty one from the back. 100%. So, the point is, Kell Brook was certified world champion. And what happened to him against 160? Triple G Spot said, listen, he's too small. Now, I'd say Conor Benn isn't as proven as Kell Brook. So it's almost a fair comparison. Eubank, for all we know, Eubank go in there and drag your son. Especially if your son has been juicing. That's how dangerous it is. And Nigel Benn so gassed off his Nelly. He's like, oh, no joke. He'll allow his son to come off the juice and still be saying, oh yeah, Conor gonna go in there and Gerald McLennan this guy. And no joke, the odds are, if Conor Benn goes in there at 160 with no juice, there's zero chance of any Gerald McLennan. In fact, the chance of Gerald McLennan will be Conor Benn, in my opinion. And that's why I've noticed, or you've all probably noticed, Eubank seniors, when Nigel Benn has been giving it all this about, my son's going to Gerald McLennan your son, yeah, my son's going to Michael Watson your son. And Pete Eubank senior was kind of just sitting back in the cut, just kind of nodding his head like a fox, yeah. Nigel Benn's almost too bullish. Senior, as he's got older, has become more foxy, yeah. Nigel Benn's still in that 20-year-old Essex boy kind of thing, just gassed way too gassed off his Nelly, yeah. Oh, my name's Nigel Benn and I'm gassed off my Barnet, yeah, out my Barnet, 100%. And Eubank Senior was sitting back in the cut, just like, yeah, that will happen, 100%, yeah, Nigel, for sure, the fight should happen at 160, yeah, Nigel, your son definitely gonna pull a Michael Watson on me, you know what I'm saying? And Nigel was in there, yeah, gassing himself up. Dangerous. These boxers with their egos is dangerous. And if you ain't got someone in your camp like the YOB to tell you, listen, calm your beak down. Your beaks be going way too hard, Nigel. Yeah? Nigel's beak was just doing this. Just running away. Yeah? Running away from him, 100%. Nigel, you gotta stop allowing your beak to run away from you. Because that's what it was doing. And Senior was sitting there just soaking it all up like, that's definitely going to happen. Yeah? I'll tell you one thing definitely ain't going to happen. Is you go in there with Junior at 160 and try and pull a Michael Watson. Like I said, only Michael Watson will be your son, in my opinion. There's no way. Yeah? Conor Benn would have to be smoking. Genuinely smoking. Because even when he's knocked out Algieri, or the other guy, they weren't cold, were they? In all fairness, when Conor Benn stopped people, they've been quite blunt. From what I remember, maybe I'm missing something, but I don't remember it. He hasn't got a kind of Stone Cold Steve Austin KO yet, has he? I'm not sure, maybe he has, but I haven't seen no one's eye rolling in their bonds yet. So yeah, cut the cap, man. Let's get the cappers. But anyway, you heard there from the leak, Don Spenny leaking. Eubank Senior was fixing to drop the... I think that's going a bit far as well, to be honest. Again, I've explained the context already. But Eubank, both people are too gassed. Nigel Benn too gassed. And also Senior's too gassed. Then again, I guess he has lost another son. So I can understand that from a family point of view. But it's all just a bit too much for me. The way they're carrying on. Most fighters today haven't got the heart. I think the problem is Nigel Benn and Eubank Senior probably are thinking how it used to be back in their day. Back in their day, men had pride. Men would leave it all out there, which made the sport inherently and exponentially more dangerous. When you've got two men, who are prepared to do anything to win, the sport is literally 20 times more dangerous. Whereas today, when you've at best normally got one man prepared to do it all, it just means... Today's environment makes for easier fights, much less dangerous fights. I mean, look at Canelo. Canelo, the pound for pound best ever in the world ever. Yeah? That's what people are saying. And look at the example the best pound for pound ever has displayed. What example has he displayed? Well, when they go and get stuff, he mopes around the ring and he feels sorry for himself and gets his ears boxed off. Yeah? And he's supposed to be the shining example. And that's what he did. When the going got tough, he just plodded through. And I'm sorry, but that is the standard attitude. That sums up most fighters. It's not the rule anymore. It's not the rule that fighters are fighters. The rule is boxers are strategic. Oh, my name's Canelo, my name's Carrot Top, and that looks like hard work. I'm getting paid 50 million anyway. I'll just sack it off and hope that Eddie's bought the judges. Yeah, that's what Canelo did. Now Canelo's just one example of that, but he'll be on it. Look at AJ, another example. Yeah, where have you seen AJ go in there with that 1990s Eubank or Nigel Benn type mannerisms? You haven't seen that. So like I said, both men, they're They're literally regurgitating their own experience, which doesn't reflect on today. On today, even Eubank Jr., look at him. Eubank Jr. doesn't leave it all out there. Yeah? The worst comes to worst, Eubank Jr., he knows how to lose. He's not stupid. Eubank Jr. ain't going to leave it all out there. Yeah? Eubank Jr. ain't going to put his own head on the line. If Eubank Jr. starts losing to Conor Benn, he'll just lose. as he's already done many times before. Yeah? Now, if Eubank Jr. had showed that, he's going to battle on no matter what, that's when it gets dangerous. That's when it's like, oh damn, two men are going in the ring, and one's depleted on weight, and we know he's never going to want to lose. We know he'll refuse to lose. We know he's prepared to DIE to lose. For example, Wilder. I'd say Wilder being weight trained is dangerous, because I'm pretty confident. Damn, if Wilder's weight trained and he's still trying to push on, that's dangerous. Your son, with all due respect, senior, your son ain't built like that. Yeah, your son happy to lose and then post on Instagram with his McLaren the next day. In fact, you even said it yourself. You said yourself your son's a goofy. Yeah, you said your son is a big clown, wannabe Floyd Mayweather looking ass. Oh, my son want to suck Floyd off. That's what you said, 100%. Yeah, goofy have an ass, 5-foot Napoleon complex, 100%. That's what you said. So cut the cap. Your son ain't gonna go. Listen, your son ain't going to the mountain like that. Yeah, your son ain't on no Moses thing. He ain't gonna go to the mountain. Yeah, he ain't gonna dig deep to the mountain. Your son gonna roll over like Johnston. Yeah. So it is what it is, man. But listen, let's stop let's stop. Everyone's gassing things way too hard. Yeah, Nigel, your son ain't gonna do nothing to do with Watson. Nigel, your son ain't gonna do nothing to do with McLennan. Let's just start there. Yeah, you know what, Nigel Ben? Let's start there. Your son ain't doing nothing to do with Watson, and ain't doing nothing to do with McLennan. You're too gassed. Yeah. I'll tell you what you want to focus on. Let's focus on him doing something with Granados. Let's start there. Fucking hell. Yeah? About a McLennan to a 157 pounder. What planet? Where do they find these guys? Oh, my son who went life and death with Granados is going to pull a Watson on a dude 2 times bigger than him. Yeah? Clown sounding asses. Next joke. Senior. Yeah? All due respect, your son ain't going to do nothing. He just ain't. Your son, my son gonna push so hard that he might end up damaged. Listen, your son, why weren't your son pushing it hard against Billy Joe sausages? Yeah? Why weren't your son pushing it hard against old washed up, your words, old washed up, shot to bits, George Groves? In fact, your son couldn't even stop James DeShot. Yeah? Listen, senior, when your son fought James DeShottle, yeah? And your son fought James DeShottle. What happened with that? Your son didn't do nothing with James DeShottle. He went in there and went life and death on points. James DeShottle was begging to be put out of his misery in that fight. He's been shot to bits. Yeah? It's no coincidence that James changed his second name. Yeah? Wait a minute, you think James DeGale went down to the name registry and changed it to James DeShottle for nothing? Of course he didn't. He was shot and he knew it. That's why he changed his name, 100%. Anyway, big clown show, everyone trying to be dramatic. It's like everyone trying to be on Instagram. The way these men carry on today. Oh, my son going to Watson, your son. Oh, my son attempted M. Too much TikTok. The TikTok hype, yeah. Everyone's looking for the 7-second soundbite these days. It's watched, dragged. Both people need to sit down somewhere and relax themselves. This fight was going to go the distance on point. In my opinion, this fight was going to go the distance on points, and that would have been that. There'd have been no attempted M. There'd have been no Michael Watsons. You man just too hyped up. Yeah? Timmy too turned up, 100%. Anyway, smash the like button, subscribe, and your boy will be back.